It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Tuesday, July 1st, and what a start of the month, you guys. July 1st. You know I love the first of the month. It's like a Bone Thugs and Harmony reference, if you guys know. If you're like an 80s girl like I am and then a 90s high schooler, I love the first of the month. And I have such an incredible guest today. I am like jonesing. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I have done all the research. I was just telling him in the green room. I'm like studying Aidan Turtleboy, Dr. Turtleboy. I've been doing all the research. I've watched all the interviews. In fact, I know too much, I think, but I have 1 hour with Dr. Turtleboy to teach you guys all of the things about the man, the myth, and the legend behind Free Karen Reed, the movement, and the reason why we have been hyperfixated here, at least on Daily Dose of Donna. It has been my hyperfixation. It's the only thing that I can talk about. I can't get over it. I can't get over Karen Reed. I don't care that the trial is over. I can't get over the entire thing. But now we have to move on to Free Turtleboy because he is still in this drama behind this corrupt institution of Canton police officers. I can't wait to talk to him. Thank you all for being here. This is so exciting for Daily Dose of Donna, all the dosers and all the people that made this happen. Make sure to subscribe and like before I bring him in. You guys, welcome. It's your Daily Dose of Donna. I didn't even realize it, but I am wearing green for Dr. Turtleboy. Turtleboy, Aidan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
And you're not even wearing green. We look like Christmas.
Well, I have a green screen, so it's like the one color I can't wear, actually.
That's true.
Kind of ironic.
That's true. But we do look like Christmas together between your red,
it's true.
My green.
It's 90 degrees outside, but
I know you're all the way over there in Massachusetts. It's nice and hot over there. I'm here in LA.
It's not that hot there.
It's beautiful. It's like 75 and gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, it's
Welcome
like
to the show.
85, 90 here, so feeling good, blasting the AC, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, so I spent hours binging you yesterday. I'm just going to be honest. I was watching you on Andrea Burkhart. I watched you on Breaking Point. You've been doing the interview circuit.
I have.
And I've loved it. You are really, truly the reason, and I honestly mean this, the reason that we all know about Karen Reed. And I think that I think you get a lot of credit, but if you haven't, you deserve all of the accolades and all the credit for the Free Karen Reed movement. I think that the world would have known about it, but no, I don't think the world would have known about it. I think maybe just a few people would have known about the Karen Reed story. Can you explain to some people that maybe don't know? I know you've talked about it a lot, but there are people out there that don't know. How did Karen Reed and that movement and that story land from just local news into your lap?
Well, it was already out there. It was in when it first started.
You're blurry, by the way. I don't want
to
interrupt you. Everyone's saying you're blurry. I see it too, but I'm like, everyone else is saying
blurry.
You're blurry.
Like, hold on. Let me see. On YouTube, that's like when I see myself on my camera, like on StreamYard, it's perfectly clear. When I'm looking over on YouTube, it looks like 1950s television. Like, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know if it's a StreamYard thing, but I don't know if that helps what I just did.
Oh,
it's
getting better.
You're right. That is not good. That's not, we can't do
Is it a Wi-Fi sitch?
No, I don't think so, because it would be blurry on my end with the StreamYard. Like, it's like perfectly clear.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know. Hold on. Let me jump off. I'll jump right back on. How about that?
Okay.
I'll jump right back on.
Right. Okay.
Maybe that'll fix it.
Okay. He said, well, I'm just going to entertain you guys. I will tell you, for everyone that is here, welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show. I will find a way to entertain you. If you are new here, a lot of you guys that are here, you've never been to my show maybe. I am here 5 days a week, Daily Dose of Donna, and I cover a lot of things, including Karen Reed. I was covering Karen Reed every single day. I became massively obsessed when I watched the documentary. See, I didn't watch trial number one at all. And I was so obsessed with it once I watched the documentary. I watched the 5-part documentary, Body in the Snow. And once I watched the documentary, let's see if he's not blurry. We still got a blurry Turtle Boy.
Serious? Oh, you freaking.
What's going on, Turtle Boy?
When you see me on the StreamYard, am I blurry on StreamYard?
You're blurry on StreamYard.
See, I'm not blurry on StreamYard on my end, but I am blurry when I go to YouTube and I see it. So I don't know what's up with that. I guess I could let me try resetting my router real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, this is so sad.
Yeah, I know. I'll be right back. Hold on.
You know, this is very typical of my life. There's tech issues that follow me wherever I go. Ask my husband. A tech issue follows me all the time. Well, it's okay. Don't worry. One thing I do know is how to keep things going. The show must go on, as they say. And you know, I used to be a casting director. So whenever we had auditions that kind of like went to shit, for example, when we used to audition people and the camera stopped working in the middle of the audition, we just have to keep on rolling. You just have to keep rolling. So, okay, when I watched A Body in the Snow is when I got obsessed with the Karen Reed documentary. And what I said, and I've said it here on the show so many times, was that the first couple episodes of Body in the Snow, I was like, I don't get it. I don't understand, because the way that they told that documentary, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, you know, watched it, the way that they showed the documentary, the first couple of episodes, it was like, I'm not really sure if she did it or not. It was very confusing, right? But then as you started to develop and understand more of the details, and when they started to introduce that Jen McCabe, oh, that Jen McCabe, she was the one that switched me into understanding. Oh, no. Karen Reed is not guilty of these heinous crimes against John O'Keefe. It's definitely someone in the house of 34 Fairview. But that's how I got to understand the whole, you know, drama of Karen Reed. And of course, how I got to understand Turtleboy. But it really did take me a second to develop like a liking for Turtleboy. I will be honest, and I was going to tell him this, and maybe I'll tell him when he comes back. It did give me a second it took me a while to understand a little bit of the players of Trial One. And I went back and watched more of Trial One, because if you watch the documentary, A Body in the Snow, you realize you miss out on so much of Trial One. They don't tell you everything. And so a lot of you guys, a lot of dosers told me, go back and watch Trial One. And so I would go on YouTube and I would watch Jen McCabe's full testimony. I mean, I would spend hours watching her full testimony. And then I would watch Higgins' full testimony and finding out that he threw away his cell phone, separating out the SIM card and throwing it out in the dumpster. That was telling. And then watching Colin Albert's testimony, all of those salacious details from Trial One were incredibly telling. And Trial Two was beyond belief. But Trial One was salacious in like I would say in a Days of Our Lives soap opera way that you can't even write. Like no nighttime drama, no Ryan Murphy drama could write what we saw in trial number one that happened on the night of January 28th, 29th, 2022, right? Nothing could ever be that good. Now, I am continuing to just roll with the punches as Aidan Kearney is just, you know, resetting his router somewhere in Worcester, Massachusetts, or wherever he lives, hoping he's, you know, maybe he's on the phone with Spectrum right now. I don't know what he's doing, but, you know, I'm sure he's doing something. I think he's back. Let's all cross our fingers together. And even if he's blurry, we're bringing him on the show.
Is it blurry?
I think he's better.
Is it? Okay. Slightly better or like real better? Like it works?
Turtleboy, he's back.
Okay. All right.
My God, I was sweaty.
Close call. Close call.
For you? I mean, I literally never thought
yeah.
I was going to. Aidan, You're going to
Yes.
have to talk for the rest of the time. Okay.
Okay,
I've
cool.
done all my
Sorry.
talking.
All right. So what's going on?
So you tell us how in the world Karen Reed jumped out as a journalist, as someone that likes to talk about all these things. Why Karen Reed? Why her story?
Well, it was really interesting for one, and I knew it was going to be a big hit when I first read about it, and it just had it all. It was just so outrageous when I first started researching the story. It sounded like a movie script. Like I'm like, this can't be real. This, you know, this woman's been arrested for this. It's all over the news. All right, and it appeared to be a horrible accident, and you felt bad for her almost, and you also felt bad for John O'Keefe's family and what a horrible, horrible thing, right? And then you're like, wait a minute. It's not a horrible accident. It's actually the most dastardly evil thing I've ever seen. And I realized I was sitting on like the story of the century. So all I really had to do was just report, initially what was in the court documents and research it and put it all together. And then from there, though, I began, getting more tips and more tips and more tips on new stories, that stuff the defense didn't have. And I was able to kind of supplement her defense, if you will. And she was able to use some of the stuff that I found in my reporting along the way to file motions and help her case.
I think there's something about this case, and I agree with everything that you've said. And obviously, there was something about, your cup is a see-through cup when you use it. That's
Yeah, it's
so
green. It's green. So
I love it.
yeah.
So when you are talking about these people, and like we're getting right to it because we don't have a lot of time. Um, One of my friends, Bobby Sauce, he covers this. He's Take Naps on Instagram. Shout out. He covers this. He does really good riffs on Karen Reed, and he's amazing. He always calls these people soggy demons when he talks about like the Higgins and the McAlberts and like all the crazy Canton police officers and all of them. These people are unlike, like, you can't write in a script people that are this corrupt. Like, you don't believe that people like this exist in
No,
our world
no.
until you actually see it. And the fact that these people operate, these kinds of cops, these kinds of authority figures, and you're watching it on trial, right? You're watching it on a trial live. We were all watching it, especially the second trial. I mean, I wish we knew the numbers of how many people were actually watching it live. I was watching it just on one channel, 50,000 people, but in another channel was 50,000, 70,000, 80,000. And that's just live. Think about how many people were watching it on the replay. And meanwhile, Judge Bev and the cops and the lies, it's wild to know that these people are actually operating in this way in just one trial in one case. Did that blow your mind to see the corruption, or was that not shocking to you whatsoever? Because it's just kind of the way of life.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly blew my mind. That's what made it such a crazy story. The fact that it was so unbelievable that this could actually be happening. I trusted our institutions, and I didn't think they'd ever do anything like this. I always grew up trusting the police and trusting the courts, and I really did not think that they were this bad.
Who in the entire case, from top to bottom, would you put as the most corrupt player?
Geez, that's a tough one. Well, Michael Proctor is definitely the most corrupt. He's definitely like the biggest scumbag in this whole thing. And then it would have to be, maybe like Brian Higgins or Ken Berkowitz or Brian Tully, Yuri Buchanan. I mean, Beverly Cannoni, Hank Brennan, Adam Lally. It goes down the line. There's
Morrissey.
so many. There's Michael Morrissey. Yeah, how could I forget Michael Moore? Yeah, he's probably actually. Yeah.
It's like a triangle.
He should
right?
be a lot higher, right? He should be a lot higher. So, yeah, I mean, I could just go on and on. I mean, who isn't corrupt on the other side of the story?
Does it start at Morrissey, and then like they all trickle under him?
I don't think so. I think it starts with Michael Proctor, really, and then. He's the one. Michael Morrissey had no reason to frame Karen Reed initially. Like, Michael Morrissey just supports the people who work under him unconditionally. Like, that's his thing. And he went through, like, he's corrupt in the sense that like he does nothing to weed out the corruption in his own office. He encourages it. He allows it to fester. He allows these people this bro culture to exist within the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, where they're sending nasty text messages and not doing the job that they're supposed to be doing. So yeah, I guess I would put Michael Proctor at the top of that list. And then from there, it's like, Brian Tully, Michael Morrissey, and Yuri Buchanan, and John Fanning, and other supervisors of his. And then all the other troopers within the state police detectives unit, like Nicholas Garino. And quite frankly, I'm sure every detective in the Norfolk County, DA's office probably, I don't know if they believe Karen Reed is innocent, but they support the prosecution of Karen Reed. Every single one of them would like to see Karen Reed go to jail. So I would call anybody who supports the prosecution of Karen Reed and has any sort of authority corrupt at this point.
Why do you think they all support Karen Reed going to jail? You mentioned Michael Morrissey didn't want to frame Karen Reed. Why and where did this originate, this plan to frame Karen Reed? Obviously, we all have our theories, right? Like, we all have our theories of what really went down that night. I know that you've probably mentioned this a million times on your show, but just from a zoomed out perspective, could you say in your mind where it started, that moment?
Well, that morning, obviously, so they probably a fight happened. John got knocked out. He was clearly dying in the house. And they were like, well, we can't have this guy die in our house. We got to do something, right? Like, what are we going to do? We'll just put him on the lawn. Okay. We'll just say he never came in the house. We'll put him on the lawn. Right. And we'll say that, I don't know how, maybe a plow hit him. Like, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. What happened to the poor guy? Right. We didn't hear anything. We didn't see anything, etc. So, I think that was the initial plan when whatever happened in the house. But then in the morning, I don't think they had a plan to frame Karen Reed at first until in the morning they saw Karen Reed had a broken taillight, which was really convenient that she cracked that thing while backing out of John's driveway. And so she got sectioned. And at that point, that's when Jennifer McCabe really went to work and started getting into the heads of the police officers, the first responders, the Michael Lank, calling him back at 9:00, getting that on the record, calling Peggy O'Keefe, getting in touch with, Kerry Roberts, just getting them all on the same page and starting to poison their minds and making them think that Karen Reed was yelling, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, or should I have hit him? That evolved into I hit him, I hit him, I hit him later on. But it began as, could I have done this? She's just kind of planting the seed that Karen might have been so drunk she didn't realize doing it. And so from there, obviously the taillight had to have gotten planted there later on, because we know it wasn't there at 7:00 when Lieutenant Gallagher was searching it with his leaf blower on video. So we would have seen taillight. So there's no taillight there, yet it appears. It appears after the car gets back to the Canton Police Sallyport garage. Now, Michael Proctor intentionally put on his report that the car was towed at 4:15. I apologize, at 5:30, when in fact it was really towed at 4:15. That's a deliberate action which shows you, like, the only reason to do that is because it would be impossible to plant taillight if the car was towed at 5:30. So that to me shows premeditation, deliberateness, right? And it wasn't Proctor who planted the taillight, because Proctor didn't go to 34 Fairview Road that day. Yet we can see Proctor on video. The second that the car gets in there, he's already at the back taillight. Okay. And he's back there for a long period of time. And then some guy that goes to the Canton Police Sallyport garage suddenly appears and suddenly disappears, right? From where Proctor is standing. And then there's a 20-second gap in the video, and then he's gone. And we're like, what happened? Who was that guy? We don't know. So it would have to be someone who wouldn't stand out in the Canton Police garage. Like, you would, it has to be a cop. It can't just be some schmo. And so that would, there's a number of people. It could be Kevin Albert, the detective from the Canton Police Department, who is Brian Albert's younger brother. It could be Ken Berkowitz, who just had this abnormal relationship, like bro relationship with Higgy. And like he like worshipped him. It was kind of weird. He gave him his own office at the Canton Police Department on the ATF for some reason. And he was just allowed to conduct business out of there and like move cars around at 1:30. And they just had this. So I think that at some point, Chief Berkowitz had to be in on this. Like he had to know, because he also like drove by one time a week later and saw a piece of taillight from a moving vehicle. So he had to be in on this. He had to know, which means Higgins had to have been the one to have told him. Now, whether or not I highly doubt Higgins just confessed to him that, we killed this guy and we're trying to frame an innocent woman. I'm not convinced Kenny would go along with that. But what a lot of these cops might have done is just said, like, she did it. We just have to make the case against her stronger or it's not going to stick. Right. And so like, I know like that's the easiest way to frame somebody. They like a lot of time they believe you're guilty and then they just want to make sure it sticks. And so they add evidence. And so I believe that, Chief Berkowitz is like, oh yeah, sure. She killed the cop. We got to make sure she goes down. Right. Like if you need to put taillight there, do what you got to do. Have like, I can get it for you. No one will suspect it's me in there. He could easily do that. Right. We know that Lieutenant O'Hara testified that they began the search at 5:21 a.m. and that the first piece was found at 5:45 and that at 5:35, the car got to the Canton Police Sallyport. And then 5 minutes later at 5:40 around then, just random people start showing up who he doesn't know. He says that he believes they're Canton police officers and they join the CERT team, but he doesn't know who they are. He does not testify who finds the taillight. Whoever found the taillight that day didn't testify. Their name isn't on it. So it's like, we don't like, so those are the people that immediately start covering it up. Right. Like, so I would say that the people who actually knew John O'Keefe was murdered inside that house, were the people who were inside the house and maybe Kevin Albert, like, cause maybe Brian would feel comfortable telling his brother that. Certainly I think Chris Albert and his wife, Julie, found out what happened because they were very anxious to make sure their son was protected and not interviewed, like abnormally happy. Like one of them offered a bribe to Michael Proctor on the day that Karen Reed was arrested. Julie Albert did. So the whole thing just reeks of that. But I have a hard time believing that, Ken Berkowitz and Michael Morrissey would know that a murder went down in the house and just participate in the cover up. I think that they were well aware that stuff was planted after the fact, but only because and they're okay with it because they think Karen Reed did it.
Yeah.
And this strengthens our case.
Okay. So let's talk about what I'm dying to ask you about, that picture that you posted on your Twitter, on your X that night that the verdict was read, and it was the garage. What is that picture, and what can you explain that to us? So you posted, for anyone that doesn't remember, Aidan posted this picture of the garage, and it's Alan Jackson, and I know because of his buff arms, and we'll talk about Alan in just 2 seconds. Oh my God, he's so ripped. He and Alessi. Like, what's up with that defense?
Yeah, they all are. Yeah.
Did you ever work out with them? Like, I need to know what their workout. I want to subscribe to their YouTube.
I don't know when they had time to work out with all the,
We found out that Alessi doesn't sleep.
Yeah, I mean that helps when you don't have to sleep. It frees up a lot of hours in the day.
So he is standing there. I don't know how you got access to that picture. I guess I'm going to ask you. But what is that picture of with this paint over the wall?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's a picture that they took inside the garage that they thought looked, you've seen the picture before. It's like this maroon colored paint that it just looks like it's kind of been like sloshed everywhere. I don't know. It's definitely not blood. It's definitely like paint. But it just looks like something that could have been used to cover up if there was blood there, potentially something like that.
What do you think, though? Do you think that it actually, in my mind, he was killed or died in the basement? That's what I think. I think it happened in the basement. In my mind, if I had to like recreate the scene of the murder, it was with the weight plate in the weights in the
Mm,
basement. And
mm.
that's why all the floor is being pulled up. I mean, I've recreated the scene in my mind. And that's
Yeah.
why we're seeing all this video. Let's talk about this. The new official Karen Reed Instagram account and how they're slowly dripping out these videos
Mm.
that you're seeing. You may not be able to talk about it. Is that why we're just getting a lot of nods?
Well, what's the question?
So these videos that
Yeah.
now are being released slowly, slowly, and I'm assuming they're coming from someone very, very close to the defense team, if not the defense team or Karen herself,
Yeah.
because they're coming from very intimate sources. They're of Alan Jackson and the defense team walking through 34 Fairview Road after it was sold. The house was sold. They are of the floor after it was like ridiculously pulled up. Like it looks like a construction zone. They're of the carpet that was pulled.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like something is a brewing.
Yeah, I still don't understand the question though. What's the question?
What does it mean? What does it all mean? Is
Know.
something happening?
You guess is as good as mine. It's
Really?
Like, yeah. I mean, with which particular picture?
All of them. Are we seeing an upcoming investigation? Is it over? Is
No,
something?
you're not going to see an upcoming. It's over.
Stop. For sure.
No, yeah, they're going to get away with murder. John O'Keefe's murder is never going to be solved, and it's all Peggy and Paul O'Keefe's fault. And I don't care if that's controversial. It is 100% their fault. If they acted like actual family members who actually gave a shit about their son, they would get justice for John. So Peggy and Paul O'Keefe will never get justice for John, and it's all their fault. And I don't give a shit if that's controversial. That's just an undeniable fact.
Tell me more. Why?
Because who does the state respond to? They don't respond to me. They respond to grieving families, right? If Peggy and Paul O'Keefe were acting like real family members who actually gave a shit about their son, they would be like, what the fuck is going on here? What is Google searches, butt dials, phones being destroyed? What the fuck? My mom would be down there breaking glass plates and demanding shit. But nope, Peggy and Paul O'Keefe just sit in that courtroom every day like douchebags, just like smiling and taunting Carrie. They don't, I hate to say it, they don't deserve justice, right? If you want justice for your family member, act like you actually give a shit about them, and they're not. And if that offends you, you can go fuck yourself, because that's the truth.
So you think they hate Karen Reed more than they loved their son in that
I'm
sense?
not saying that. I mean, I don't know if they love their son. Like, I would assume they love their son, but I'm just stating facts. That's the fact of the matter is it's their fault that they, like, if they actually, Paul O'Keefe went on and did an interview with Christina Rex after the first trial, and he made excuses for Michael Proctor. If you gave a shit about your son, your brother, at the very least, let's suppose you actually believe Karen Reed did this, okay, and that it's an open and shut case, right? Then why wasn't she convicted? Because Michael Proctor's a fucking asshole, because he texted all this ridiculous, stupid shit. He conducted a horrible investigation. He lied and lied and lied about family relationships, about what time he towed shit, everything. And what does if I'm Paul O'Keefe, I am fucking furious. I'm ripping Michael Proctor's head off. And what does he do? He goes on Christina Rex's show and he's like, oh, they shouldn't have looked at his cell phones. Well, guess what, Paul? That you get what you get. That's your karma, Paul. You walking out of that courthouse with your head hanging down, sad. That's what you deserve, Paul. You don't deserve justice for your brother. Your brother deserves justice, but you don't. I mean, they're a joke.
Yeah.
They're bringing my ex side piece to them to court. They're bringing Lindsay Gattani with them to court as a friggin' prop, right? This is a joke to them. This is your brother's murder trial, and you're befriending some crack whore from Medfield, right? Whose only claim to fame is that she lied and put me in jail. That's her whole claim to fame. And Paul's like, let me bring you to court, right? And let me have some online girlfriend in New Jersey who I can use these court hearings, because I'm on TV, so I'm going to spread my crotch, stare at Karen Reed, and I'm going to do stupid signals to my online girlfriend who I never met, who I'm sending embarrassing pictures of myself, taking bathroom selfies to. It's humiliating. And the guy, he deserves nothing. He's a bad guy and he
Yeah.
deserves nothing.
No, I mean, there's no question. Paul O'Keefe is, I've never heard one positive thing about that man at all whatsoever from anyone, even including people that know him personally who have DM'd me through this trial, that have grown up with him. He's a shady, shady guy from every single person that I've heard of. I mean, that's why he got moved in the trial, right? That's why he got moved to the back seat, because he made the jury feel uncomfortable. Isn't that what happened?
Yeah, he made one of the jurors feel sexually uncomfortable. Like that was like she did not like the looks that she was getting in a sexual manner. Like that's the way it was described. And so that is why Paul had to move his seat. I mean, that's a big thing. If the juror felt that strongly about it, that she went to the judge and that they had to like call Paul in there, and he's got to move to the back row and told like this is your last chance. That's crazy. Like that's crazy. So if Paul O'Keefe, if Karen Reed had been convicted, it's just like everything is wrong with this world if that actually happens. And we were worried about that after the first trial. We're like, how could anyone think this woman did this? Like that's crazy talk. But we just caught a bad jury. We caught a bad jury. Now we caught a normal one in the second time around. And if they had to do a third, I'm sure she'd be acquitted on everything again.
What about Paul O'Keefe's dad? I mean, John O'Keefe's dad. What was the deal with him? There was a lot of rumors about him.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors. But I mean, some people have said, oh, he's going to sit with Karen's family. I mean, he had a good relationship with Karen, I think, when they were, dating, when she was dating John. He seems like an agreeable fella. I don't know him, but he's like not there most of the time. And when he is there, he seems like he doesn't want to be there. We've never heard from him. I don't even know what his voice sounds like. He's not out there like advocating for justice for his son. I don't know. It's just odd how little they seem to really care about real justice for John. It's just odd.
Well, I did feel uncomfortable when Peggy was on the stand talking about her son.
Yeah.
Explain that. When she was on the stand. Now, did she take the stand in trial one? I didn't watch trial one.
Paul did. Paul and Aaron did. And so Paul did not in trial two, probably because the first thing he would have been asked in cross-examination is, sir, have you had anything to drink today? Because he told the woman, his mistress in New Jersey, that he was drunk when he testified the first time around. So he said he was drunk. Yeah. And so Paul was a liability because of my award-winning journalism, if you will. And Peggy was much less of a liability, but she also had never heard her speak before. And she was just not very sympathetic for a grieving mother. Like, she didn't really cry about John. She was really crying for her daughter who died, 10 years ago or so. And, but all she had to say about John was that, oh yeah, he was a cop. Yeah. He worked in, Dorchester and, Hyde Park and, so he's a cop and that's it. And then like with Paul, it was, oh yeah, Paul, he's over there. That's all I said. Paul's over there. And that was it. And so, she just seemed like somebody who didn't like Karen. She made comments about what a mistake it was for her to allow Bill Reed and Karen to go upstairs, insinuating that they did something nefarious up there. They didn't. They were just getting her clothes and some of her personal items and leaving because she was making it a hostile environment. She was already Team Jen McCabe at that point. Like the damage, appeared to be done. So that's what happened there.
Jen McCabe is one of the most compelling people in this entire experience for someone like me, because as someone that is not like a big true crime person until this trial like turned me on to this whole genre. But I'm someone, Aidan, that covered like reality TV and celebrities, right? Until Karen Reed. This hit all the buckets because of Jen McCabe. I'm not joking, because this whole idea of framing her as a soccer mom is so fucking laughable. It's a joke. Like, I've never seen a more nefarious person in my life. She is the worst kind of woman ever. She is the person that you want to stay far, far away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why in the world would Lally, and I can't with Brennan. He's the worst. I love how you call him Spanky. It's the best. It makes me laugh so hard. Spanky. Where do you think Spanky is today, by the way? Where is he? Crying somewhere?
I don't know. I mean, he's probably had a new case, moved on to a new thing. He doesn't give a shit.
Do you miss him? Do you miss Spanky?
No, not at all. He sucks. I mean, he's probably crying about me somewhere, you know,
For sure.
The turtle got the best of him.
He definitely has like a wall of turtles somewhere in his room where he just like throws things at them every day. He like has a voodoo turtle. Why Jen McCabe? Why did they pick her out of all of those people to be the one?
Because she was the primary witness. She was with Karen Reed when she found the body. She could talk to her state of mind at the time. She could make up a lie about her saying, I hit him. She's the one that could incriminate Karen the most. Brian Albert couldn't incriminate couldn't incriminate Karen Reed like Jennifer McCabe could. Only Kerry Roberts and Jennifer McCabe could do that because they were with her that morning.
Do you think Jen McCabe and Matt McCabe have a serious condition where they laugh every time they lie? Why are they such laughers? Those two. Do you notice that? I was watching your video at the lacrosse game, by the way.
Oh, that thing.
I've really gone down the path.
You have. Good job.
I went and watched your video, and he laughs too. They all laugh.
He does.
And did you watch the video on Nightline when they were all interviewed, the 6 of them or whatever?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of their tell, isn't it? Now that I think about it, is they're always like laughing, like this is. Oh, it's so ridiculous that you would even ask that. Oh my God. Why didn't I come out of the house? What a stupid question. I was in my underpants.
Matt McCabe is like, they call us murders.
Yeah.
It's the craziest experience to watch. This is psycho. This is psychopath behavior to laugh, saying that people call you a murderer.
Well, they're saying it's just so they're trying to sell this idea that it's so laughable and ridiculous that we could be involved in something, but it's really not, because she didn't do it. 12 jurors seem to agree with that, but yet he's dead and someone killed him. So we're all looking at you guys and you're up here like, oh, that's silly. Like, it's really not. It's actually not silly. It's actually the most logical thing that could have happened. And then you throw in your extremely suspicious behavior, including Mr. Chubbs McCabe, your message in which you said, just tell him the guy never came in the house, right? Why would you ever text that? Like, why would Chris
the
Albert,
guy?
Yeah. And why would they need to instruct Chris Albert what to say if it was a fact, if he never came in the house,
You would never have a conversation about timelines, about the group text. The only conversation I'd ever have with anyone, if any friend of mine ever died, was, holy shit, I cannot believe this happened. I'm devastated. That's the only text we would ever have. We would never have a text about like, oh, what are we going to say? What should we say? They're telling him everything. Mm-hmm. It's insane.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to ask you about, obviously you've been going through a crazy legal battle yourself.
I have.
Over this silly witness intimidation claims. And you are going through, you have a trial coming up too, right?
I do. Well, not coming up anytime soon. It's like long. I mean,
what's coming up for you next in your legal struggles?
I have a pretrial hearing on July 7th in Norfolk Superior Court at 2 p.m. So that's today, July 1st. Yeah. So it's like 6 days away. And that's just another hearing of many hearings to come in my witness intimidation cases. So we're nowhere near ready for a trial, like not even close.
And this is not going away. There's no chance it gets dropped.
Well, we've dropped some of the charges. We got 6 of the charges dismissed in a motion to dismiss. That was heard a couple months ago. So that's a good start. But I still have 10 of them did not get dismissed. They survived. And, we still have 4 other charges that we have not filed motions to dismiss with yet. So we could get those dismissed, and those are kind of weaker charges. And after that, there's I guess there's another way we can do a motion to dismiss for selective prosecution, which would be a pretty good angle for us because, the things that I'm being charged with, people do all the time. And it's never been a crime until I did it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you need microdots to do videos on you?
He's done many.
Oh,
Richie's
he
my guy.
has.
Oh yeah, that's my guy, Richie. He's been with me since almost day one of this whole Karen Reed thing. He's like document. He was with me at the Billerica lacrosse incident. He's been everywhere. So, Richie's done a lot of videos about my struggle. If you check him out on Microdots, and he does great work.
I love him so much. What can I ask you about that? So, okay, the FBI thing you think is a done deal. It's not happening, gone by.
I mean, I guess there's always hope, but I wouldn't count on it. I'm not holding my breath,
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we would have done it by now, I would hope. What are they waiting for,
What about Higgins? I need to know what you know. Where is this man? Is he getting a face transplant, a body transplant? Is he doing a makeover somewhere where he's going to look different? I need to know where Higgins is. We need to figure it out.
He's down the Cape where he always is in his little house there. But, other than that.
Who's Bev's? Is he in Bev's house?
No, he lives in the Cape. He lives in Sandwich, Mass.
Stop.
Yeah.
Can we go find him?
I've been to his house before.
What, hanging out?
No, I mean, I did a video there this summer. You should check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. I went and, or maybe it was like last September, I went and filmed myself driving from Higgins' house to the Otis Air Force Base. And I try to get into the Air Force Base and tell them that I'm trying to get rid of my SIM card and my cell phone. And I want to throw in a dumpster in there because a preservation order is coming out the next day. And I just want to get rid of my SIM card. And the guy kind of looked at me confused. And I said, well, isn't that common practice here? Like, do you know a guy named Brian Higgins? Like he did. And he'd never heard of this before. And I'm like, okay, sorry. I just wanted to get rid of my SIM card and my phone. But apparently you're not letting me into the Air Force Base to do that. So, because I'm not a veteran. Like Brian Higgins is a veteran, so he gets to go into Air Force bases and just destroy his SIM cards.
Evidence.
Yeah, right. So, I tried. It was just an experiment to see if number one, if I'd be able to do it. Number two, how would I be perceived if I tried to do this? And the answer is with extreme skepticism. And but Brian Higgins, for him, it was just
no problem.
Normal, just completely normal.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think you would do differently covering this case from the very beginning? Is there anything you would have done differently to avoid maybe this crazy legal drama that you're involved in? Would you have would you have not gone to the lacrosse game? Would you have
I'd go to the lacrosse game again. That was awesome. That was dope. That was fun. And it was like needed to be done. She needed to be asked those questions in public. I did nothing wrong whatsoever. I don't think I could have avoided these charges. I mean, it's like I'm not giving up my First Amendment rights in order to avoid prosecution. Like it's like I wouldn't do that. It's like I have a right to do everything that it did. None of this is against the law, period. And with the rolling rally, I mean, I suppose I could have just applied for a permit or something. I don't know what else I could have done. Because we were allowed to do it that day. Like they let us do. I announced I was coming to town. We didn't go on anyone's lawn. We didn't trespass. We just stood on the street and we peacefully protested outside of their homes for like 7 minutes. And then we went to the next house. We didn't do anything illegal. We didn't yell at them. We didn't demand they change their story, nothing. So I guess, the only thing I could change was like, I guess I could have called Helena Rafferty and been like, so I'm coming to your town to hold a protest. Do I need to get a permit? And that way she could tell me yes or no. And at least that way I'd have it in writing that she was fully aware of what I was doing and wasn't telling me not to, because no one else got charged at the rolling rally. There was hundreds of people there. I'm the only one that got charged at all. So it's like clearly the rally itself couldn't have been illegal if hundreds of people participated in it, and they can identify all of these people just by looking at the video. And I'm the only one who's charged. That doesn't make any sense. So clearly, the event itself could not have possibly been illegal, or else why aren't they charging more people? So there's really nothing I could have done, no matter what I did. I mean, 90% of my charges come from things that I said on my YouTube show, things that are just taken completely out of context. There's no way to avoid that. I can't stop them from taking one sentence and then blending it with another sentence that I said 30 minutes later and turning it and just completely changing the meaning of what I was saying. That's what most of my charges really are. So I don't know what I was supposed to do. So to tell you, I mean, I feel like it was inevitable I was going to get arrested no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, there must be a real sense of, no matter all the craziness. I did just read an article from Boston Magazine, Boston article that from you, that someone interviewed you when you were in prison.
Oh, Catherine Elton. That was a good story. Yeah, that was.
It was a great
about,
story
yeah.
with a great picture of you.
Oh, thank you.
And it's when you were like behind the glass partition, and it was really interesting. But it's crazy what you've gone through. Really crazy what you've gone through, and you went through some really low lows.
Yeah,
and it's
very low
for this story. Yeah. But I imagine it's not really just for Karen, because it wasn't just for Karen.
None of this is for Karen Read. This is all for John O'Keefe. All of it, right? Karen Read is just an interchangeable part. Karen Read has her own lawyers. Karen Read's in good hands, right? I certainly think I'm helping Karen Read, but more importantly, we're figuring out who killed John O'Keefe. Like, that was the point of my activism, wasn't to defend Karen Read's honor or get Karen Read exonerated. The purpose of me asking, Jennifer McCabe why she Googled how long to die in cold, that has nothing to do with Karen Read, that question, because Karen Read didn't Google that, and Jen McCabe didn't Google that thinking about Karen Read. She Googled that thinking about John O'Keefe. Right. So that's why I'm asking questions, because John O'Keefe's not, Karen Read's here to defend herself. John O'Keefe's not. So I'm trying to figure out what they did to John O'Keefe and why didn't Brian Albert come outside? And what, he was obviously in the house. How long was he there for? What'd you guys do to him? Like, that's what I want to know. And like, my plan was just keep asking them questions until one day they answered. Maybe, you never know. I might not ever get an answer. Right. But I'm going to keep asking, as should be all. We should ask them these questions. Like, what did they do with him? Like, they did something. Why can't they just tell us? And why is it illegal to ask them these questions? Right? Why is it illegal to accuse them? It's not, first of all, it's not illegal. Why are they pretending it's illegal to call someone a cop killer if you believe they're a cop killer? Right? If that's untrue, which they can't prove it's untrue, right? Then at the most, that's defamatory, which is a civil action, not a criminal action. And if you want to sue me over that, go ahead. But like arresting and charging with witness, I mean, that's absurd. What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy how many people can get away with calling crazy things, everyone crazy things online right now. I mean, they're calling politicians things, they're calling celebrities things, but you just say one thing and it's like prison, witness intimidation. It's nuts. What do you think about this? Well, actually, I do have a question about what's happened since the trial ended. There was all this like hoopla a couple days ago about everyone saying the defense team is staying away from you. The defense team is staying away from you. And I was watching and I saw that you posted this beautiful statement that was almost brought me to tears, actually, about because it's a very vulnerable statement. It was like 10 minutes long or something, where you shared your journey. And it was basically what we were just talking about, how you've really gone through the high highs and the low lows. You were pulled away from your kids. You were then served with another restraining order because of these motherfuckers, and just really horrible experiences because of this. And it was all basically to say that, you're doing this for the right reasons, and it has nothing to do with, well, I mean, you kind of share in a nutshell what that statement was and what was the point of that statement.
Well, I had made a comment on my show that, what did I say? That people are asking me when's the Karen coming on, when's her lawyers coming on. They had seen Yannetti and Alessi gone on Runkle and a couple other programs, YouTube presentations. And so, if everybody's asking me, when are they coming on yours? Like, obviously you're the guy that started this whole thing. When are they coming on yours? Right. And, I suppose I could lie and be like, oh yeah, any day now they're coming on. Things are great. They're going to get back to me. They're just really busy and whatever. I mean, I could lie and be like, yeah, everything's fucking awesome, which is apparently what some moron, like the vast majority of TikTok morons want. No offense to the TikTokers, right? I am one myself now. But like I read the comments on TikTok and they're like, oh my gosh, why does he think he has a right to interview them? Like, he should just leave them alone. He's got charges. They don't want to do this. None of you idiots know what the fuck you're talking about, right? It's about money. All of this whole thing is about money. That's what they're too fucking stupid to realize. And pardon my French, I swear a lot, right? But it's just like I see these stupid comments and I just want to reach inside my phone and just smack a hoe. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why would you ever type something so stupid? Okay. I'll tell you right now, it's all about money. This whole thing is about money, right? Alan Jackson and Karen Reed are attempting to get a movie done, right? And to do that, they need exclusivity. That's what these people, these simple-minded morons can't understand, right? If Alan Jackson starts going on a tour and going on all sorts of shows and talking about what the case was like and the behind the scenes stuff and all the questions that people want to know, then he's got nothing to sell. Okay. That the content is worth money. The stories that are untold are worth money, people, you fucking idiots. It has absolutely nothing to do with it. So the reason that they haven't come on is about fucking money. They want to make as much money as possible, and they're costing themselves money if they start going on shows, you absolute idiots. It has nothing to do with us having a falling out or them. Now it's just money. They just want to make as much money as possible. And because you're too stupid and you've never owned a business and you don't know how to make money, you don't understand this shit. That's what it's all about. Money.
How do you really feel?
I mean, I'm just telling you, it's like I'm reading the comments and I'm like, oh my God. It's just like
I think you're so
she
funny.
needs time to breathe. It's not about time. She doesn't want time to breathe right now. She wants to make money because she's broke. So she needs to make money, period.
Of course.
Yeah,
listen, I come from the industry. I'm a former casting director. I live here in Los Angeles. All my friends are agents. Of course it's about money. This woman spent her entire life savings, and so did her family, on these last few years. Alan Jackson, too, worked, I imagine. So did Alessi and Yannetti, for way lower, and Liza Little, for so much lower than what they are worth. If they are not, you don't get out of it. The first thing that they were thinking is, how much can we make for our first interview? And no offense to Turtleboy, you don't have $5 million for that first sit-down interview.
I can't make that much in Turtle Chest.
So much sense to me. There is no way that she's going to do a solid for a buddy and give you the exclusive for that first interview. She will come on your show, and you
eventually,
guys will.
Yeah, exactly. You get it. It's that simple.
It's so obvious. It's so obvious.
That was my issue.
People love to make the drama, right? Like, they love to create the drama. So David Yannetti even commented, and they're like, if anyone is creating a fight between us, like, you're not opening your eyes. But Alan Jackson's coming on your show on Saturday. I saw that.
Yes.
This is so exciting.
And he's got something to say. You know,
I
he
saw that.
wants to make it very clear. Like, it's not like any huge secrets or something like that. He wants to set the record straight about the things that people are saying on TikTok. Like, these idiots on TikTok, like, it's all the TikTok idiots in the comments. So I'm seeing on there talking about, oh, they don't want to be associated. Alan Jackson is coming on to shut these people up and to let them know how much he appreciated and how much the whole defense appreciated my journalism, my activism, etc. He's not going to be on the whole show. We're not doing one of these like 2-hour streams. He's coming on for maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and we're just going to have a brief powwow about that. And he wants to set the record straight, and he's only coming on mine. He's not going on anyone else's show. He's not going to, because he's saving the content for the movie deal. That's what it's all about.
I absolutely love it. Okay, we have 2 more minutes with you, 5 more minutes with you, so I'm gonna ask you some quick questions.
Go for it.
Okay. Brian Kohlberger's case, gone. What are you gonna
Yeah,
do? You were gonna cover it.
I know. I don't know. When's Don Adelson up? I don't know. Like, what? I guess we'll just. Honestly, I'm going to be so busy over the next few
Why? Oh,
months.
because of your thing.
Yeah, and all sorts of interviews. Like I'm next week, I'm going on Bob Mata. I'm going on Runkle. I'm going. Like I need like a secretary to keep track of all the shows that I'm going to be doing. And I'm on your program. Like I was just so many people told me to come on your show, and so I'm
Aw.
happy to come on here.
Wait,
And
you need to go on Dancing with the Stars or something.
well, okay. So there's another big announcement coming up. I don't have permission to say yet, but hopefully within a week, maybe less than a week, I'll be able to officially announce another big thing that I'm going to be doing. I'm also going to be working on the book that I'm writing on this. So I'm going to have my hands full every day working on that, working on the documentary. Actually, when Alan Jackson comes, when I do my show at Allen on Saturday, like my documentary crew is going to be here filming me while I do this. So like we're working on the doc, we're working on the movie. Like I have a movie deal. So Karen Reed doesn't have a movie deal yet. Like that was kind of a misunderstanding. Karen Reed has her movie rights are being shopped. Like what you saw in that article was basically an advertisement and saying, come get it. Like we have
It's
Karen
in
Reed's
development.
rights. Hopefully. Like that's like there was nothing, there's no movie, there's no deal. Like it's like LBI has her rights, and that way that was their way of telling anybody interested in
A
making a
studio
movie.
to try to come and buy
Right.
it.
Come contact us. Right. Karen Reed has an offer. Right. There is one offer that I am well aware of that I can't disclose. Right. But there is my movie rights are currently owned. All my rights, my movie rights, my doc rights, and my book rights are owned by Compelling Pictures, and they're doing the doc and we're doing the movie regardless. And honestly, I mean, it would be lame if there was two movies. There should be one movie on the Karen Reed Experience, and it will fucking kill it at the box office if that's the case. So we'll see what comes of that. If there's a partnership, if not, but they got to make as much money as possible because Alan Jackson and crew basically worked for free. When they made $200,000 retainer, right? Which when you're Alan Jackson and you charge $18.50 an hour, that's and the billable hours add up to over $10 million. Now that's the estimate. So Alan Jackson is trying to recoup money in time because he viewed this trial as not only his most important criminal trial ever, but also this is an investment. Like he worked for free and now he needs to recoup his labor and his time because that was worth money. And this is how he does it. Right.
Yeah.
And so they should absolutely make as much money as they can possibly get. And if that means not partnering with me, then I get it. Okay. Now, personally, I think a movie would be better with both of us, but if that's the case and there was two competing movies, people can go to both movies. It's fine.
Who's going to play? Okay. Who do you think plays you best in a movie? I have some casting ideas. Do you have an idea?
Everybody always says Jeremy Renner. That's usually people's first choice.
That's on my list.
Yeah. I mean, I love him in The Town, he was in Hurt Locker too. He was,
that was number one on my list, but I have another one. I have a couple more.
I always loved Christian Bale. Although I think he's a lot older than me. I don't know how old Christian Bale is. I'm 43. I don't know how old Christian Bale is, but
I'm 44. We're basically like, we're in the same.
I mean, how old do you think Christian Bale is? Because I fucking love Christian Bale.
I think he's a little older. I'm not going Christian Bale for you. I'm going much more Jeremy Renner, but I kind of like Mark Wahlberg for you.
He's older though. Like he's old. Like he's like 55, isn't he?
Are we saying Mark Wahlberg is too old to play?
I guess he looks young. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't look anything like Mark Wahlberg. I guess he could pull it off. And I just honestly, I hated what he did in Patriots Day. I really fucking hated that movie.
Oh, we're judging Mark Wahlberg's acting.
Well, he ruined that movie. That was like a really important topic, the Boston Marathon bombing. It was like a huge thing. We're like, oh, good, they're going to make a Boston Marathon movie. And it was just like, oh, Mark Wahlberg just made the whole thing about how he's the hero. Like this is a fucking fairy tale. Like it sucked. Patriots Day sucked. and I'm still
Well,
mad
maybe
about
we
it.
need to have a sit down with Mark.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe. Yeah, I mean,
Maybe we did. We
he was great in The Departed. He had like 10 lines in it, but he was awesome.
Okay, so
You know,
we'll work on that. We'll come up with a good list, but I think that Jeremy Renner could do it. I think
he
that's
could
the
do it.
one.
Ryan Gosling could do it. Bradley
Just
Cooper
not
could do it. You
Ryan
know,
Reynolds.
no, I wouldn't want Ryan Reynolds to.
Let me
No,
ask
well,
you a question, and this is a very important one for a crossover for my dosers. Okay, Team Blake Lively or Team Justin Baldoni?
oh, Justin Baldoni, no question about it. Obviously,
You?
who's Team Blake Lively?
I
I mean,
officially am in love with you now,
oh,
Turtle Boy.
thank you.
You've officially just rised up the ranks, and now you are prime number one doser for my audience. Literally, if you said Blake Lively, I would
Oh,
have to end the stream.
who would ever say Blake Lively? It's like saying Amber Heard. Like it's like she's like the new Amber Heard, basically, except they didn't have like a real relationship, but she seems just as annoying. I mean, she's hot. I'll give her that. She was also great at the time. You don't think of Blake Lively hot? Everybody thinks Blake. Of course, she would play. Honestly, she would have been my first choice for Karen Reed prior to her sabotaging her own career.
God forbid! God
Oh
forbid!
yeah, you don't think she would do a great Karen Reed?
We can't even put that out there.
I
She
know.
will ruin the movie. She'll say that Jeremy Renner sexually harassed her in the making
I
of the
know.
movie.
Yeah,
It can't
that's what I'm saying.
happen.
Like until you found out what her personality, I'm talking as far as looks, acting ability. Like she's very good for that. Like she was awesome in The Town too. Like she was fucking great. Like in The Town,
Okay,
everything
we
comes
can't.
back to The Town because it's such a good movie. But
We can't put it out there. Like, it needs to stop. You guys,
okay.
like, we got to spit on that conversation or whatever. Blake Lively cannot play Karen Reed. She cannot ruin this for us.
What about Jennifer Lawrence? She would be a good Karen Reed. Would she
Jennifer
not?
Lawrence can't do anything wrong. So yes, Jennifer Lawrence, please do everything. Who's Alan Jackson? This is a big one.
I'd have to think about that. I need more time. I can't come up with that. I give me time to think about that, and I'll come up with something. I think.
Okay, we're gonna come up with our casting list for everything.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna need
I
to.
hope whatever projects come out of this, I hope you're part of it. I hope you develop them. I hope that they definitely bring you in for all of the part of it, because you are such an integral part of it, and you deserve all. I know that you say Karen and Alan and all of them do, but you do too. You are truly, like, it wouldn't have happened without you. And I know that you could say like, oh yeah, but it really wouldn't have. And I think that everyone, a lot of people struggle with some of the words you say. A lot of
Hmm.
people, like when I said that you were going to be on my show, they were like, but he says the C word. And I'm like, and so what the
I didn't say it once
cares?
this time. You know,
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud
um,
of you because there's a lot of people in my audience that I would get 1-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, but I am very proud of you that you toned it down. We did get a little angry a few minutes in.
I got fired up about Peggy and Paul O'Keefe. I got fired
Yeah.
up about the TikTokers and the crap they're talking about it. And so I'm really excited to have Alan Jackson on my show on Saturday night. I'm just really excited to just be doing this now. This is fun. This is the fun part. It's all paying off, like
Yeah.
the hard part's over. Karen Reed has been acquitted. I no longer, like, I used to have so much anxiety over that about like, oh my gosh, if she's convicted, oh no, it's gonna be fucking horrible. But now I don't have that anymore. And now's the fun part where we ride the wave. Like I'll be riding this wave for a long time.
I
So
know.
really looking
Well,
forward
you
to
should be proud of yourself. We're going to support you. I had it up earlier in the links. I wish someone could write it really quickly in the links. Aidan's Defense Fund. You guys, please support. I'll put it as a pinned comment afterwards. I'm going to stick on. Aidan's going to leave because he's got a very busy schedule. Go and follow Dr. Turtleboy. Subscribe to his YouTube. And please, contribute to his defense fund and follow his journey, because he's being unfairly prosecuted, in my opinion, for just reporting. And we're seeing all of these protests pop up everywhere for the craziest things left and right in America. So allow him to just publicly protest outside of people's homes.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Or you
I
should
guess
be
you're
allowed
allowed
to
to
do
do
that.
it.
We'll find out. So thank you so. It's really nice to meet you.
It
And
was
thank
nice to
you,
meet you too.
Donna with an
Yes.
A. Okay, Donna, and thank you for telling me to pronounce that, because you must get Dana all the time.
My whole life.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Call
hear
my
that.
mom.
Yeah,
Take it
sorry.
up with her.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for having me on. It was great meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh, he was so fun. I think I got him out of his bad mood. He started in a bad mood, but we can turn him around as dosers, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. That was a lot of fun, minus his blurry camera. We're gonna work on that. Thank you everyone for being here, dosers and new dosers alike. We got some amazing super chats, and hopefully I can get some incredible answers for those of you that sent over some super chats. KW Dread sent, who's redder, Turtle Boy or his shirt all pasty? Just kidding, Turtle Boy the goat. Yes, he was quite red in those first few minutes. It was blurry. I'm not going to lie. It was so blurry. And it was right. And I felt bad. I didn't want to say anything. You know, when you have a guest over, you're like, oh, I don't want to mess you up and tell you that your camera work, because he goes live 15 hours a night. I feel like every night when I go online, Turtle Boy is live. So I thought he was going to be like, don't tell me about my camera. But it was pretty blurry. Thank you for the super chat. TB is pixelated bukkake. He was. Thank you again for that super chat, KW. Oh my God, you sent 3. Turtle Boy framed 1 and 2 is what helped me understand the whole case. Yeah, I mean, Turtle Boy is so interesting. It took me a second to understand Turtle Boy, if I can be 100% honest. Like, it really did take me a second. Because at first I was a little turned off by his personality. He's crass a little bit, right? So at the beginning I was like, ooh, it's a lot. But then I realized, like, when you're passionate about something, and you guys know me, I get passionate about things. And a lot of people are turned off by me because I get so passionate about things. But when you get passionate about things, like, sometimes you can't stop. You can't fight the feeling, right? Just go, go, go. So that's how I feel about it too. Thanks, VB. I appreciate you being here. Just South of History says, we love this interview, tech issues and all. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for the super chat. It's an uncomfortable truth. I think that this super chat said this was about when he was talking about Peggy O'Keefe and John O'Keefe, how she's stopping the investigation. It's a truth nonetheless, uncomfortable truth, but it's a truth. Yes. Ocean Exploration, has Dr. Turtleboy interviewed Heather Maxson? I don't believe so, because you would have known, right? I think, I don't think that that's something that has happened. But why are we wondering if he has? Heather Maxson was Ryan Nagel's former girlfriend. That was, she was interviewed on the stand. It was a very quick little testimony. And it was just to confirm Ryan Nagel's testimony, right? It was just to confirm that Karen Reed was there with in the car with no one else in the stand. I mean, that testimony was so powerful. Ryan Nagel's testimony. It was like, I saw Karen Reed in the car with the dome light on. No one was there. That was telling. Allison Brie as Karen. Funny story about Allison Brie. I cast Allison Brie in her first project ever in 2007 for $100 a day in a web series, we called it at the time. It was a web series. First project ever. And she's adorable. Can you put slow mode on We Are Drowning? Oh my gosh. I don't even know how to put on slow mode while I'm live. Tell me how. Good luck. Tell me if you still need me to do that, Christina. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. I will try. It's okay now. Yeah, that was great. Listen, Turtle Boy is a polarizing figure for some people, because some people cannot handle when people get, like, riled up, right? When people get riled up and get angry and people get upset. And I like it. I like it when people I don't want a boring man or a boring woman when they are that person. The reason why Turtle Boy is where he is because of that fire. But this interview that I told him about, that I just read, was this. It's a really interesting interview. I'll show it to you guys. It's from Boston City Life, and it was from May 19th, 2024. And here it is. If you guys read it, it's a great interview. And basically, it's talking about him when he was in jail. It's a great, great interview. And it starts by saying, from behind the thick glass partition, Aidan Kearney was almost unrecognizable. It talks about how normally I watch him on his live stream, but right now, he's on day 50 of his 60-day incarceration. It talks about how depressed he is, how he doesn't have his normal, medication, how he's not with his kids, how he's charged with 8 counts, da 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 da. It's a really, really crazy interview, and it's sad. It's actually really sad. He really went through a lot, Aidan, and it gave me a sign of just a side of him that I didn't really know a lot. A few days ago, even I didn't know a lot about him, so I've learned a lot about him in just the last few days. It's really interesting. Salem says, best article on Turtleboy, in my opinion, was by The Atlantic. It's 40 plus pages. Wow. Didn't even know that was out there. The other video that I just watched is the video of him going to the lacrosse game, which I don't know if you guys actually watched that. That's a crazy video. Have you guys actually watched that? It's an interesting one. If you are interested in watching it, I'll show you guys just a little piece of it. But Aidan gives no fucks. And I have to say, it's pretty impressive. I guess Microdots was with him. That's crazy. I got nervous for him watching this. Like, my heart started beating heavily. Look at Matt McCabe's face.
Hey, Matt, how you doing, pal? How you doing? Good. How are you doing? How you doing? Hey, Jen, how you doing? Fancy seeing you here. How are you?
All right.
So how did court go the other day?
Went great.
Sorry, do you have a child on the team?
Do you?
I do, so I'm trying to watch.
No, I'm at a public event, so I can do whatever I want. So anyway, Jen, I have a question. Did you think that you could outsmart Karen Reed? Did you? Do you think that's funny? Do you think that's funny? How long to die in cold? What is this gentleman doing? Look at that deranged face. Hey, Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen to your family when you go to jail?
Don't touch me.
Why are you shaking,
Touch
dude?
me again.
Why are you shaking?
Again. Touch me again.
So, Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen when your kids go to jail?
Touch me again.
When you go to jail, I apologize. To your children. Are you worried at all about that?
Huh?
Huh?
Touch me.
What's going on here?
Oh, you're so fast.
Oh, what are we doing?
How short you were.
Jen, did you think that you could
I didn't
outsmart
realize
Karen
how
Reed,
short
yes
you
or
were.
no? Did you? Why did you Google how long to die in cold, Jen? Why did you Google how long to die in cold, Jen? Why did you Google how long to die in cold, Jen? Do you have any answer for that?
Is that the perfect that was just?
Do you have any answer for that?
Come on,
Miss
buddy.
McCabe, do you have any
Time
answer
to
for
leave.
that? Why should I leave, sir? I just have some questions. I just want to know why she Googled how
Hold
long
on,
to
all
die
right?
in cold.
Yeah, that's up.
I just wanted to know why
I'm
she
opening
Googled
my
how long to
umbrella.
die in cold. I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
Well, you shouldn't be
I'm just curious.
property.
I'm just curious. I'm being assaulted by an umbrella man. What is going on here? What is happening?
I'm being
right now?
assaulted by an umbrella man. He says.
What is
Rain,
happening?
my friend?
What is happening?
This is a sporting event, activities for you guys. So
I'm filming.
This is what?
Oh, that must be Richie from my.
Why do we have to put? We could have our phone out in public. We're just trying to watch a lacrosse
Listen,
game,
it's
sir.
not
This is a
young girls.
school-sponsored event.
Yes, it
We
is.
know- we know
How
you
do you
got-
feel about murder
We
of
know
police
you already been
officers?
let go for
How do you
one
feel
job
about murder of
filming
police
young
I'm
officers?
girls.
watching my children. play
Okay,
the game.
well, she murdered a police officer.
No, that is so unfair.
Oh, it's not. Then why did she Google how long to die in cold?
She did it. It's already been proven wrong.
Oh, wait, really? How has it been proven wrong?
You were in court. You
How
were-
long? How has it been? I didn't hear anything. How did you? Well,
You're deaf.
so how is it proven wrong, Matt?
By journalists.
How is it proven wrong,
Great
sir?
journalists.
How? So are you saying that forensic expert Richard Green is wrong? Are you saying that forensic expert Richard Green is wrong? Is that what you're saying right now, sir? Is that what you're saying? I mean, I'm just curious. Oh boy, here we go.
What are you, 5'5"?
I'm about 5'8" and 3/4.
You're
How
tall.
much do you weigh?
Oh, I'm thin.
You're very thin. Yeah, you look sharp the other day in court. You
I
look great. You
I
look
did.
great. No, but
So
seriously,
what did, where did you
how long? Why did she?
How long ago?
How can I?
Here watching a game for somebody?
Yeah, I'm watching the game,
You're watching.
but I'm hanging out with
Are
my
you-
friends. Please don't touch me, sir.
Okay.
Please don't touch me. So I'm here watching the game.
Actually, I'm a staff here.
Okay,
You need to step away because I don't think you're
step
watching
away from what?
from the stands, and you can probably take off on.
Well, this is a public event, right?
It is.
Beat it.
And I paid to come in.
And actually, you shouldn't be harassing people in this.
I'm not harassing. I'm here to watch. I'm here to watch
So
a
we get rid of this
lacrosse
one, too?
Who are
game.
you watching, sir?
I just like to watch lacrosse in general.
This is
Billerica
I could
against
care less
Canton.
about that loser.
I mean, why do you guys? I mean, I just want to watch the game. What's wrong with the game? What's
Then
wrong
why
with
are
me
you
watching the
standing
You
game?
didn't even know what the game
Sir,
is?
can you
It's
step away?
Canton against. I believe it's called
The police-
lacrosse,
the
right?
police are coming. Leave.
What? Why should I leave? It's a public. Well, it's a public event. What's wrong? What am I doing wrong?
You're bothering people.
I'm not. I'm just standing here trying to watch a
fans.
game.
You're not a fan.
Outside the fence.
Well,
outside
You can do it outside
There's
the
plenty of
fence.
room.
Okay, so are you like? What law am I breaking right now?
You're
This is
filming.
our facility. We're asking you to leave.
Okay,
We have
what's
the right to
the
ask you
problem?
to leave.
I'm just okay. So I'm watching a game. What rule have I broken?
You're filming young girls.
I'm filming young girls. It's
Filming
a
young
lacrosse game. A
girls.
lot of people are filming girls. It's a lacrosse game.
What?
Wait, they said you're filming young girls. That's wild that that's where they went.
What is your problem? Why
Are you saying you can't film lacrosse? Is that what you're saying?
filming for?
What's up? Because it's a free country. I'll film whatever I want. Because it's a free country.
But what are you filming for?
Because I want to film. It's a free country. What am I not allowed to film?
Did I say that? What is your? What
Because
is-
I'm doing what I want to be free because I'm a free American living in a free country. So then what's the problem?
You're bothering people.
Who am I bothering?
These gentlemen.
Well, they
right here.
killed a cop. They killed a police officer,
Excuse
John
me, sir,
O'Keefe.
We're done with
She Googled how long to die in
We're-
cold
we're done.
while John O'Keefe
he's-
was dying
Look, I
outside
don't
of a
even know why
house.
he's here. He's
These are
not
cop
here
killers.
bothering
These are
anybody.
cop killers.
Oh my God, you guys, I'm actually so uncomfortable. I am so uncomfortable. I'm dying. I mean, I appreciate him doing this so badly. I could never. I could never. Could never.
You know they're cop
I don't
killers,
know
right?
why you're talking
These
to
are
me.
cop killers.
I'm asking you
These
to
are
leave.
cop
Don't
killers.
bring your problems.
Like,
I don't watch it.
Well, I'm just trying to watch a game. First of all, I'm rooting for Billerica. If that does that count? Does that help?
Go over there
Well,
on the other
so-
side.
oh,
This is
so
the
if you-
Canton side. That's our home side.
Actually, just leave.
Go
See the
over
fence
there.
out the.
Okay.
Is there a policeman on duty?
Okay.
No, there's not. But there's. I know one
Okay.
drove by a minute ago.
Well, last game of the year, I'm guessing this is a playoff game, right? So, just no answer for how long to die in cold? No answer? It wasn't answered in court, though. Could you answer it for me? Because I'm not as smart as you.
Listen.
Yeah.
It sounds like an interview, not a filming. So why don't you?
So you're not here
An
to watch
interview,
the
not a film?
You're not here to-
Well, I'd like to watch the
But
game,
you're
but
not
it's kind of
watching the game.
it's kind of a blowout, though.
You're not.
No,
watching
I mean,
the
it's no offense.
game.
It's just not that close. But okay, we'll give it a wrap. But I just thought I'd stop by and have a great night. We'll see you soon, Jen. How long to die in cold? Maybe you can answer that question for me. We'll find out later. We'll find out later. Bye. So she didn't want to answer. She didn't want to answer. I just want to find out how long to die in cold and why someone would Google that at 2:27 in the morning when a cop is dying on the front yard of 34 Fairview Road. And why two cop killers are up there. Cop killers.
Oh my God.
That's what they are. They're cop killers. So two cop killers don't like being asked about it. I cannot wait until they go to jail. I'm going to be there. And they're not going to be able to get the camera out of my face then. So they better get used to this beautiful face, baby. Because it's coming at you. It's coming at you, John.
This might be the end of your lacrosse season, but there's lots of other public events coming up, and we're gonna keep asking the questions until we get an answer. How long to die in cold? You heard Fat Boy Matt McCabe there. He claims that it was answered in court. He claims that it was answered in court, but it wasn't answered in court. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. I don't know. Cop killers!
Oh my God. You know what? I didn't see the whole thing until just now. I will say now looking this is in hindsight. Like that was 2 years ago or whatever. That was so long ago. This guy has such balls. Number one, he has such cojones, but also he really was so passionate about this. But I just asked him in the interview, I said, what's so interesting is like, you didn't do this for Karen. And that's the best part about it. He's like, I did this for John. Talk about John O'Keefe. You know, he mentioned on someone else's interview, maybe it was on Andrea Burkhart's interview the other night. He mentioned that what pissed him off so much about, sorry, this is right in the camera. What pissed him off so much about those two, the McCabe's, is they would walk around with their JJ, Justice for JJ pins, right? That they would walk around with their like Justice for JJ pins. And this is what they're doing. They don't care that he died. They called him the guy after he died. They weren't sad about it for a second. They were never sad about it. After he died, tell them the guy never came in the house. There was no text in their group chat saying, I can't believe our friend died. How in the world did John die? I'm devastated that John died on my front lawn. On my sister's front lawn. How did he die? This is devastating. His poor kids. I'm so sad. There's none of that in the group. Tell him the guy didn't come into our house. Like, come the hell on. We can see right through it. So yeah, 911. There's a man passed out in the snow. A man. They talk about him like he's like some like a homeless dude on the street, like some guy. It's wild. So that's what pisses him off so much. It's the injustice. Talk about injustice. It's really, really crazy. But, oh yeah, exactly. Alyssa also reminds us, Matt McCabe literally complained that they were going to miss the basketball game because Carrie was at their house being interviewed by the cops. Like, hurry it up, Carrie. Hurry it up. We're going to miss the basketball game. Yuck, yuck. With that, like, freaking laugh. You look short. You look shorter in real life. They're going to think we're murderers. Matt McCabe's face, my God. Don't really want to go after people's looks, but why not? Between Matt McCabe and his like yuck face, and then Brian Albert and the murderer face. I mean, Brian Albert's face is exactly like murderer Brian Albert. I've never seen, if you're like in at a 911 wanted party, it's like, we're looking for a murder. It's Brian Albert's face. No one else looks more like a murderer than Brian Albert, in my opinion. I've never seen anything like it. And if you ever are listening to like a true crime podcast and you're looking for like the wife of who's pretending to be innocent but knows that her husband's a murderer but pretending to be innocent, it's Nicole Albert and Jen McCabe. It's the two of them. It's so wild. But that was a fun interview, you guys. I had a great time with you. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. And I applaud Turtleboy for his ability to not stop by intimidation. He doesn't care. And I think that it's scary to be on the receiving end of a Turtleboy. But if you have a Turtleboy in your life, like Karen Reed, if you have a Turtleboy in your life, you should be so grateful. We should all have a Turtleboy in our lives. And I hope Turtleboy has a Turtleboy in his life is the question. I hope he has a Turtleboy in his life that is really willing to go to bat for him. Because he doesn't have like a murder victim in the situation, right? So I hope he does have someone that has a that is willing to really just go to bat. Anyway, I appreciate you guys being here. This was a really fun day for me and a fun show. And thank you so much for subscribing and liking the show, share, and hope you tune in tomorrow. We'll talk more about the Kohlberger plea deal. I'm hoping to get a great guest for that. And it's really a incredible turn of events, sad turn of events for that family, for those families. Really sad. And we'll talk about a few other things coming around the bend. Around the bend. Thank you so much for being here. Talk to you soon. Oh, yeah. And Turtleboy's team, Justin Baldoni. How could that get better? How could that get better? I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.